Take it away.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt Lowndes back here again with, this is Ask the Mayor with Jerry Larsen, the Mayor of East Hampton Village, and special guest Deputy Mayor Chris Minardi. How are you guys doing tonight? Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Lovely spending it in here
Same
in this
to you,
room
Matt.
with you.
So I was saying we have a half an hour and we have to get going because we have dinner reservations.
As you should.
But it's nice to be here. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, it's awesome. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invite, and this is a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Happy
excited
Valentine's.
to get both of you in here, and we'll just knock out some topics real quick and get on with it so you guys can get to your dinners. Let's talk about beach permits. Arguably the hardest thing to get. It's harder to get the new Nike shoes. They sold out in 11 hours, the Village beach permits. How?
Well, Chris started this when we took office. The goal is to make our beaches number one, and Chris has done a great job, and it tells by the permits. I mean, not 11 hours, sell 3,100 permits at $500 each. It's just amazing.
It's incredible.
It is, and a lot of people complaining they didn't get theirs, but it's first come first served. There's no way we can control that. So, but I'll let Chris talk more about it because the beach is really Chris's domain.
Oh, well, thanks. I've been a beach person my whole life, and so one of the attractive reasons why I ran and joined Jerry's team was I wanted to just do everything I could for the beaches because I saw a lot of potential, and it's a really good mix. So, we've made all the changes that we could make in a year and a half, and with a lot more hopefully coming. So we've got, great people, great teams that help and implement. We think of the ideas, and then we have to make people have to actually carry them out and execute. But, there's a lot of potential to make these beaches great, and that's what's happening. And as you can see, the beach passes, or I like to call them the parking passes, they went extra fast. I mean, we did not know how fast they were going to go. And, they did go on sale on midnight on the 1st. And last year they did the same thing with the computer system that we work. It's great because it's easy. The license plates go in. It saves a lot of time and energy at Village Hall, especially now during COVID. We don't want 3,100 people walking in the front door. And also, it's quick. You get your sticker right away. It doesn't take you months to get. It eliminates a lot of red tape, and they sold out really fast. And so it's a testament of everything that the village is doing. Yeah. And there are some people that are upset, and it's sad, but there's always someone that's not going to get a sticker. We have a lot of great contingency plans, though. We have monthly passes that we've been rolling out, and we're really going to try to do our best on the daily to maximize that without sacrificing, parking for village residents or the people that did buy the stickers. So we've got a lot of good ideas that we're implementing for the parking passes. And it's exciting because we've got a lot of great things happening up at the beach, and people want to go.
Now, we have the East Hampton Free Ride. We have different forms of kind of what I like to call intermediary modes of transportation. Is the village maybe considering working with the Free Ride or someone else where you could park your car at the high school and they could drive you to Village Beach? Basically, what I'm getting at is, what are the options for parking at Village Beaches if it's too late and you couldn't get a pass?
Well, like Chris was saying, that we're going to open up more of the daily passes when we can. But Uber is always an option.
Yep.
Walking, biking. Again, Chris is absolutely right that it's a parking pass, not a beach pass. In some communities, you have to have a pass to actually get on the sand. That's not the case here. It's just a parking pass. So there's many other forms of transportation, like you're saying, the free ride. The free ride is contracted with us. They already come up to Main Beach from the long-term lot, which is free. So there are other options that you can take. They're not the most convenient, obviously, but our responsibility is to the village residents because we're elected by village residents. So I understand town residents are upset. I have a lot of friends who live in the town as well. And we try to be one community. We try to invite them. But the village residents have made it very clear, and it's set by law, we can't sell more than 3,100 of those seasonal passes. So our intent is not to go over that number.
No, yeah. I mean, you go to a Village Beach Sunday in July, it's fully packed. The parking lot, the
Right.
beach itself. I fully understand that.
And again, town residents have many other options. Similar, they have
Montauk,
Amagansett,
yeah.
they have Montauk, they have Wainscott. So there are a lot of other beaches that are available. We have a similar issue with our train station. We
Yep.
implemented paid parking at our train station. A lot of town residents were complaining, and I responded to every one of them, and I said, why don't you use the Amagansett train station? A lot of people didn't even realize they could use the Amagansett train station. So there are other options if you live in the town.
Yeah.
People move into the village, they incorporated it, made a village because they wanted it special. We're keeping it special, and there's certain perks that village residents get that town residents don't because they pay more in taxes.
Let's move on to a topic that I've been wondering my entire life. I used to go on runs when I worked at the Mason Club from Mason to Indian Wells, and I've always wondered my entire life whenever my parents brought me there, why are there no lifeguards and bathrooms at Wyborg's? It made no sense to my tiny little 8-year-old brain because you're like, there's lifeguards here, there's lifeguards there.
Right now, it's fully supported by the village board, so.
As you said, this is a no-brainer, in my opinion. And when you were 8 years old, you figured it out. To tarnish the wonderful reputation that the village has for its ocean protection.
Yep.
And it is a beautiful beach. And it's a popular beach. It has a nice parking lot, and there's no reason why there shouldn't be protection and bathroom facilities there. It's health and safety strictly, and I haven't met that many people that have anything to say to counter argument this topic, and with full support, as the mayor was talking, has a career in law enforcement and running the police division of the village, and everyone looked at each other like, yeah, why hasn't this happened before? So it's really great to be on an administration that can see holes in the village's armor and say, hey, this is a problem. Let's fix it right now. And again, it has not been that long. We recognize the need, and we solved it, and it's basically done right now. So, the bathrooms are going to take a little bit longer to figure out the logistics and getting that in properly, but the Board of Health is on board, the village board is on board. Everyone seems to love this idea, and, it's just for health and safety. So I think it's a huge win, and I can't believe it's taken this long.
Yeah, I'm not just saying this. I seriously think this is one of the bigger things that has happened in the town, the village, out here in a very long time.
I have heard some rumblings that some people are unhappy about it, but we haven't received anything in writing from any village residents. So until that time, everything's moving forward.
I'll say this, there's been one death in my lifetime at a beach where we live, and it was at a non-lifeguarded beach, and it was a mother going in after her kids when it was too rough anyway, and unfortunately she didn't make it. But then you fast forward a few years later, when I was in high school, there was a student, I'm not going to name his name, but there was a student that was going on a run after school, saw a man, had a heart attack in the ocean. He went in and he saved his life with the help of two volunteer people that just happened to be there that restarted his heart. You need lifeguards at unlifeguarded beaches. That's the bottom line. I know it's a strong opinion coming from me, but I do think it's necessary, so I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have only 5 beaches, and this will leave only 1 beach unprotected. But it's so close to the Maidstone Club that it's pretty much covered by their lifeguards.
Yep.
We're fortunate enough to have a small jurisdiction where we can provide the lifeguard services. I mean, the town is a totally different story. They have so many beaches that, they can't cover them all with lifeguards. So we're lucky to be able to do that, and I think that's what makes our beaches so popular as well. That's why everyone wants to be there.
Yeah, you're going to be safe with lifeguards.
Right.
And they also, luckily, fortunately, the village and the town also has jet skis and quads to get down to further areas if need be.
It's on and off the beach as well. I mean, lifeguards could save someone having a heart attack. Lifeguards can assist with a multitude of different health issues or whatever might happen on the beach. So it's just more safety, more protection. And again, people have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And so, again, this is going to further make the village safer and more
Cleaner.
fun and cleaner. And that's the bottom line. I mean, again, people might want a nice wide open beach to walk their dog or go for a walk. But the fact that there's a lifeguard stand and bathrooms in the far corner parking lot should not have anything to do with, people enjoying the beautiful, quiet beaches.
Not going to hear any complaints from me. Let's move on, talk a little bit about something that you've been talking about for quite some time. I'm pretty sure you talked about it when you were running. The new Central Sewer Committee. You're very big on this. You are on the committee.
Correct.
Can you go over that, and what is the overall goal of the committee?
So the goal of the creating a centralized sewer system is really twofold. One, it will take the septic systems that are now in basically our drinking water, or not in our drinking water, but they're in the groundwater, and remove that. So we will have a contained system which will make that much better. Again, the entire Village Business District is in the Hook Pond and part of the Georgica Pond watershed. So everything that goes into that water winds up in those ponds. So this will go a long way in helping keep the ponds clean too. And it will also give us the added benefit is will give us the ability to have a few more wet uses in our village, which will make it more like a Sag Harbor feeling, where you'll have more walking, more ability to walk around the village and make it a little more lively.
Which is what people want, it sounds like.
So we have a couple of different initiatives that we're working on right now. We've gotten to a certain point. We have a meeting with Suffolk County Department of Health on the 17th, and we're looking at proposed locations for the sewer plant. So until we have that ironed out, we really can't bring it to the public hearing until we know exactly where that's going to go. But we're ready to go. Once we have the location, then we can move forward with grant money, and we can start the actual process, which will take about 4 years from the time that gets started. Wow. It's a long process.
Go figure. It takes longer to put a sewer system.
At the same time, I'm working with Fred Thiel. You know about the CPF money.
Yep.
The CPF money is controlled by the towns, the 5 East End towns. And that money there's only 20% of that is allocated for water quality projects. Okay. The rest of it is for open space, obtaining open space. So I have reached out to all the mayors in the eastern end of Long Island, there's 7 of them. And we're all in agreement, except for I think one, that we would like to remove that 20% cap so that we can spend more money on water quality. Because in our particular case, in the village, we don't have a lot of open space left to obtain. So that 20% cap, even though I may have a huge surplus of money right now, I can only use it for open space, and it would be nice to be able to use it for the sewer system or other water quality projects. So we're working on that as well.
Speaking of, this is a great transition. Speaking of town water projects, now it's technically called the Town Pond Lake, but it is under village jurisdiction. Can you explain, there was some piping issues and they couldn't find out where the leak was coming from. What is the resolution of this Town Pond leak? I saw there were some workers on the road today. What's going on with the Town Pond?
So the Town Pond is a man-made pond, and it dates way back. So that pond collects runoff from the street, and it became filled with silt, and it was recommended that it be dredged by the engineers. So we dredged it. When we first took office, we committed $800 and something thousand, which we were lucky enough to then apply to CPF and obtain all that money to do the dredging project, which was great. The problem is that years ago, they changed the bulkhead of the pond, and it's some sort of plastic material. It's got a beautiful wood covering, but below that is plastic. So when they removed all the silt, unlike wood, it's tongue and groove, but unlike wood that swells with water, this doesn't swell. So we have many little leaks all the way around the pond, which will eventually, according to the experts, fill in over time. The only reason it's really noticeable now is because we have a well, that pumps water. When it gets down below a certain level, it pumps water and refills the pond. So that pump stopped working, and due to supply chain problems and everything else, it took forever to get a pump replacement. We did get the pump replacement, but now we have some sort of suction issue where it can't prime itself. So all of those issues are being worked on. The 22 inches of snow and the 5 inches of rain that we've received, if you drive by there now, it looks perfect.
Looks fine, yeah.
So it will work itself out over time, but it's going to take a little time.
So the long-term goal is no doubt we're keeping the town pond. We'll do whatever it takes,
Oh, yeah.
so to speak.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's really not a major issue. You can see how quickly it filled up.
Of course,
Once
yeah.
we had the rain and the snow, and once we have our well in place, it's just going to be a little bit of water each day, and it'll keep it at the level that it looks nice at.
Awesome. Let's move on to the Toilsome Farm Brewery Company.
Toilsome Lane Brewery, what's the name of the people who proposed it? I can't think of the name.
According to these Samsars, it's the Toilsome Farm Brewing Company.
Okay. So the first thing that everybody needs to know, anybody who's watching this, there's a process that people have to take when they want to construct something like this. And in this particular case, it needs to go to the DRB. It doesn't go to the village board. The village board cannot get involved in this right now, or maybe never. You know, this area is zoned a certain way, and people have a right to enjoy their property when it's zoned the way it should be. There are some technical things that are going on right now between the neighbors and this company, and we'll see how that all works out. But again, I think, you know, as they move forward, the best we're going to be able to do is have it in front of our DRB and make it as nice as it can be for the neighbors. I happen to live right in the same area, so I share a lot of concerns that the neighbors share. However, we need to let the process, you know, continue, and I think our DRB will do a very good job in containing and working on the issues. I would personally like to see a traffic study done, and we'll see where that goes. Again, it's improper. People approach me all the time and say, when are you going to, you know, we cannot step on the other board's authority at this point. So
Sounds like a lot of people are misunderstood about the process as a whole.
Yeah.
And that it's really just in the beginning stages still. As you said, there's kind of a little tiff going on between the neighbor and the actual property owner itself that could end up getting settled in court.
Right.
So your message is to let's slow down a little and
Slow
let
down.
the
I
process.
plan on after this. It just went before the ZBA.
Yeah.
Because the neighbors filed a petition to bring it to our ZBA for a determination. That determination should be coming out next week. Once that determination comes out, either way they decide it, I plan on having a public forum and bring everybody in the room, and let's see if we can get some questions answered about exactly what's going to happen. I mean, the biggest fear is people don't want, you know, like a nightclub in their neighborhood. They don't want a rowdy place. And I think that's the fear of everyone that I've talked to who live in that area.
Well, speak for yourself, Jerry.
You know, I was also accused of owning a part of this brewery. So I just want to be very clear that I don't have anything to do with this, nor any of my family. I just want to be really clear with this because the rumors just go crazy. And, you know, I spoke to the neighbors. I made it very clear that I have nothing to do with this. I'm not a partner in this. And so I just want to say it here on LTV and make sure everybody knows because, you know, we have some people who are not our fans and they like to start rumors.
I think a lot of people just saw in the headline brewery and kind of panicked.
Absolutely.
And
well, you don't have to look far. You see other type establishments in other locations, and no one would want that in their neighborhood. And I get it.
No, it's fair.
You know, just if I can add on to that,
please do.
What the mayor said is that, you know, this is not something in front of the village board. The village board doesn't vote on this. The village board has no authority to tell anyone what to do with the property that is zoned a certain way. As a matter of fact, also, from my understanding, the applicant isn't even asking for a variance, which would then open up another forum for neighbors to object and for at least a little bit more discussion. So from the village board standpoint, there's very little we can do at the moment other than trust that the DRB does their job. And, you know, we're following this closely, but again, this is nothing that gets voted on, and you know, property owners have certain rights. And that was a furniture warehouse for a long time. and it was sat empty for a very long time as well. And I think personally that might be, one reason why the neighbors, they all bought over the years. They get used to enjoying this property unused, and of course now we come to this situation. So the village board does not vote on this, and neither I believe the zoning board does any. There's no variance applied for it, but other than this one. This one issue with what's happening now, determination on that. So
we'll see how that goes next week. That should.
Well, we'll definitely talk about the determination.
But again, it's very concerning. I live right across the street, so I'm a little. I was complacent too when I bought because it's been vacant for so long. I never really gave it a thought, and something could come in there and be very disturbing, which nobody wants. But I really have a lot of faith in our DRB, so I think that they will mitigate a lot of the concerns as the process goes on. So
awesome.
That's where it is right now.
Yeah, we'll keep on talking about this each time we have Ask the Mayor, and I'm sure.
No, it's a good question. Thanks for asking.
There'll be new updates on it. But let's move on to the Herrick Park bathroom renovation. I'm not going to get this last name right, but Charles Surfaraza of Bada Surfaraza Architects.
Right.
Did I get that close?
I have no idea, but I had him introduce himself at the.
There's an S and then an F. That's just not English, but I love it. I absolutely love it. He sounds Italian. I love it. March 1st to May 1st is my understanding. It should all be done by May 1st.
That is what we're hoping. I mean, I spoke to our village administrator, and we are having some supply chain issues.
Of course,
doors. So, we're just going to have to go along, and we'll see how it goes. We can't not have bathrooms for the summer, so we're just going to have to see how it goes. But that is the plan.
Now, what is the new look for the Herrick Park bathroom that you guys are going for?
It's basically pretty much the same, but all cleaned up. The inside's completely renovated. I don't know if you've been in there recently or ever, but it's very prison-like.
Yeah.
It's cinder block walls and
industrial.
It's
old. Let's be honest. It's old.
It just doesn't look like anybody gave a lot of thought when it was created. So we're redoing the inside. We're tiling everything. It's going to look much, much nicer. There are other bathrooms in other communities like Southampton Village. They have beautiful bathrooms next to their park, and we want to do something like that to make it much more pleasing for people to go in there.
We were talking about the look of these bathrooms a while ago, and I was surprised and happy where Jerry wanted, we got to have this tiles and get rid of this and this stainless steel. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, Jerry, these have to be nice. I mean, when it's East Hampton Village, and it's there's traffic through there, but right now they do look very prison-like, and I understand they have to be cleaned a lot, and there's issues with that. And however they were put in last time, I guess the board shows that look. But right now, when we got done with the design and we got through this, and Jerry, I give you credit on this because I wasn't thinking that way. They're going to look really nice.
Yeah,
I'm going to be proud of these bathrooms when they get done.
Well, the funny thing is, like, if you walked in those bathrooms, and then people would say, "Oh, it has to be like this because of vandalism," and blah blah blah. You walk into an airport bathroom; it's used more than anyone. Their bathrooms look nicer than this, which is crazy to me. So, this is East Hampton Village. We want it to look the best.
No, I mean, I remember growing up, Herrick Park was fully packed all the time. Football, soccer, events, things, and so softball, baseball, everything. I totally understand where you're coming from as far as, make it bring it back to that.
Everything in our village, go back to the 80s when I was younger, and there were David's Cookies, Haagen-Dazs on the streets. There were people everywhere. Stores were open late. The park was packed, and then it all just went away.
It's true.
And now we're battling to bring it all back. And we're really excited. We have a lot of new restaurants going in this summer. We have St. Ambrose coming to Babette's.
Yep.
We have Tutto di Giorno going in at 55 Main Street. It's going to be a nice little cafe with outdoor seating. We have a new ice cream store opening where Scoop was.
Yep.
So
We've got Chutney now.
Yep, Hampton Chutney.
Hampton Chutney.
Stoll, Amagansett,
which is dynamite.
royalty.
And going right next to that is a sushi place, but I don't remember the
Yeah,
name.
there's a sushi place going right next door to Chutney.
Right.
The people at Chutney couldn't be nicer, and they said it's so busy.
Yeah.
And
is.
we eat there every day.
You
swear
drive
to
by there, we allowed them to put benches
Yeah,
outside.
I saw that. Yeah.
Which we were criticized for, but we did it anyway, and we're happy with it. And the benches are packed.
It's great.
The picnic tables are packed.
My only note, and this is just my personal thought, and I've had other people tell me the same thing. They're a little worried about the summertime traffic that may cause there.
Right.
Potentially, someone recommended putting a TCO there at times when
Right.
it gets, instead of having cross one car.
No, that's a good idea.
They
It
need
wouldn't
time
hurt.
to let several cars go because people love Chutney. Amagansett
Right.
Square was packed in the summer. I mean,
Yeah.
they had a line out the door for 4 hours straight.
People loved Mary's too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it
Yeah.
was busy, and
Yeah, we'll adjust to it, and we're happy
Yeah.
to have them. And
Oh, it's exciting.
Chris and I both met them there
Yeah.
when they were looking at the space, and we encouraged them to come. So we are working really close with all our business partners in town. We want to make it a very successful experience for them. We want to encourage people to come out to support the local business. So this board could not be friendlier towards local business.
It truly, as a young person, it's awesome to see. Because I didn't see a lot change in this town and village for quite some time. And now a lot is changing fast.
Chutney was a big win for us. I'm so happy they're in the village, and hopefully that leads to more. But I'm really happy that was a huge day. When I heard, you hear rumors about so and so. When I heard Chutney, I sat there. I was like, wow, how great would this be?
The coconut chicken over the rice.
It's incredible.
It's dynamite.
And the laundry is right across the street. That's been up for sale. So that building's up for sale too. That's
so that actually is already been sold.
Oh, it has.
And there are already plans. The facade on it is going to look just like the building that Chutney's in now.
Awesome.
So it's going to have a brick facade.
That's going to look nice.
It's going to have an apartment above. It's going to have a retail business, and I think he was talking maybe like a candy store or something like that.
That's awesome.
And then an office spot for the owner's private
That's
business.
perfect. Right next to 2 schools.
It's going to look great.
Yeah.
And there's really not a lot you can do on that piece of property.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really happy to see that actually Tom Cooper bought it, and we've been working really close with him to try to get this
Awesome.
going for him. So
2 quick things before we got to get you guys out of here. I know you have a dinner to get to. The East Hampton Village Board approved a new lease agreement with the East Hampton Village Historical Society for Domini Shops at 73 North Main Street, effective February 1st, 2023. The goal is a museum. Is that correct? A village museum?
yes, and it's also going to double as their office.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really excited. They have a new executive director,
Yep.
Steve Long.
Yep.
I've met with him several times. He's so enthusiastic. He's so excited to be in that building because that is the Domini Shop, and that you're actually on the place where all of the Domini furniture was made, and there's a lot of excitement about it. So we're really happy we're able to do that for them, and the way this all came about was 101 Main Street, where their headquarters is now, is basically been neglected by the village for many, many years. Similar to Herrick Park, similar to everything in our village has been neglected, our highway department, our fire trucks. And we're playing catch-up now to fix all these things. But that building's probably about $1 million worth of repairs, which is going to take a couple of years.
Wow.
So we were happy that the Domini Shop, we could move them into that.
No, it's awesome. It's stuff that we need. That history needs to be preserved and it needs to be appreciated and shown off in all towns, not just village, town, Amagansett. It doesn't matter, everywhere. Quick 2 questions from Instagram and then 1 Valentine's Day related question. Any new non-Tesla EV chargers coming into the village center soon?
Good question, Matt, because we several years ago the village purchased the property on Osborne Lane, which is behind the house that the village owns, right on the corner of Newtown and Osborne.
Building inspector.
So they bought this thing, they turned it into a 20-car parking spot, they had a ribbon-cutting ceremony, News 12 was there, and no one has used that parking lot since the day it opened. It cost the village taxpayers $1.1 million to create that parking lot, and not a thing was done there. The neighbors on Osborne, you talk about trying to be a good neighbor. The neighbors, who are all town residents, didn't want the second curb cut right before the train tracks. But the village at the time didn't listen to them, and they have two curb cuts there, and you have the curb cut on the other side, which makes it very congested. And it's a busy road.
Yeah.
So we have a new plan to close that curb cut and plant hedges along there. It'll completely block the Tesla stations, which are kind of ugly, from the public. So there'll be one entrance, and then you'll enter the Tesla lot through the one parking lot, which is village-owned, which is for our building department. And in that lot, we've contracted with non-Tesla charging stations, 5 of them, I believe, that are going to be going in there. That Marcos Belladron, our village administrator, was able to get a contract with them, and they're actually paying us, I think it's something like $2,000 a month to rent those for like the next 10 years or something like that.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Don't quote me on the times, but...
Yeah.
And a lot of their chargers are universal. It's not just all specific to Tesla, which is something people should know, is that when this came in front of us about a year ago, even though they're Tesla chargers, there's a percentage of them that have universal ports on them too. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that you can still park in that spot if you have a non-electric car. It's a parking spot. So anyone can park in that parking spot. It is not just for electric cars. So there are parking spots available. And as the mayor said, if you're looking for a really cool place to park, go park there.
Right.
It's there. It's
you guys
ready.
might want to do a PSA about that as well, just to throw it out there to you, because I had no idea that having a non-electric vehicle could allow me to park in that spot.
Yeah, I think everybody just assumes because the tube is there.
Yeah.
It's meant
that's clearly the way it looks. But again,
EV
no
cars.
one has ever used that parking lot.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
For the last 5 years or 6 years that it's been open, it's been a waste of taxpayer money. So at least we're recouping some money back from these renting these charging stations. And whether people like it or not, this is where the country is going.
Oh, you saw the
We're
Super Bowl
going
last
electric.
night.
We're going electric. So.
It was nonstop electric cars commercials on the.
Yeah.
It was crypto or it was electric cars all night long. Quickly, because we are literally in the last minute here. It's Valentine's Day. I like to tie in some themes every once in a while to the show. So tell me, both of you, as mayor and deputy mayor, what is the thing you love the most about your job?
The thing I love the most about being mayor is that, similar to when I was police chief, you really affect people's lives in a positive. You can affect people's lives in a positive way, and I really think as mayor, I'm able to affect many, many more people in a positive way. I'm able to help so many more people, whether it's through building process, whether it's through a young person getting a job with the village. It's just, and being able to change things. We'll be able to change our whole business community to being more active, more busy in our town, and bringing more money to our town. It's just an exciting time. I think being able to make changes is the best part of it, and having majority on the board certainly makes that easier.
Awesome. And Chris?
Well, I mean, I feel the same way as the mayor, but I'll go a little off to the side. I love going to Village Hall. I love meeting people and answering emails right away and then get back to you like, wow, thanks for the quick reply. This has never happened before. Or thanks for being on top of this. I mean, you're not going to make everybody happy, but we're making most people happy. And I really like the process. Again, we find a problem and fix it right away. Everyone says that, oh, government takes forever. It really doesn't. I mean, we've been able to address issues and fix them correctly and in a short amount of time. And I love our team, and it's great. I mean, I go to Village Hall a lot, and you know what? It's just a really great atmosphere. And, down the road, my kids will know that, their dad was able to make some positive changes in the village. It's a lot of fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah, and Chris brings up a great point. Without the staff that we have now, none of this would be possible.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a highway department superintendent that is dynamite, Dave Collins. We've got a police chief that is tremendously helpful in everything we want to do. Everyone in our Village Hall staff's incredible. So it's really a huge team, and we've really made it a team. So
It's awesome.
it takes everybody involved to get it done, but everybody seems to be rowing the boat in the same direction. So it's good.
Well, I'm glad
It's really
momentum's being made, and I'm glad things are, like you said, Chris. Yes, you're right. In the last however long you guys have been in charge, things have been done. Whether good or bad, you can argue that ad nauseum, but things are actually changing. Things are actually getting done, and it's nice to see. Thank you so much for coming on, both of you. I appreciate having the three-man crew today. We'll have one of you, if not both of you, back in a month for the next Ask the Mayor. It was a awesome show, and
No calls?
I guess not. We were crushing it so well.
Sadly,
that
no.
People were afraid to even call in. We were doing so
No, we
well.
should get some calls. It would be good.
All right, next time.
We'll push for it next time. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone, and I hope everyone has a wonderful night and rest of their week.